Welcome to HomeFront SitRep. I hope you're in for a great show today because I'm just a veteran talking about what's on my mind and maybe yours.
You can find HomeFront SitRep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. You can also check out HomeFront SitRep's YouTube channel.
Buckle up, the show is starting.
Out on the edge of the battle and back, we've carried the weight and we've walked every track. From desert dust to the fire at home, we've learned how to fight, how to stand alone. But no one tells you what comes after the war, when silence is louder than the guns we bore. That's where we speak, that's where we heal, with stories too real for Hollywood reels. Welcome to the front lines you don't always see, when warriors to battle just differently. This is our check-in, our voice, our step. This is the HomeFront SitRep podcast. For the fallen, the fighting, and those who came home. For the brothers and sisters who still feel alone. We're holding the line with truth and respect. This is the HomeFront SitRep podcast. For the fallen, the fighting, and those who came home. For the brothers and sisters who still feel alone. We're holding the line with truth and respect. This is the HomeFront SitRep podcast. It ain't all medals and waving flags. There's pain in the silence and weight in the facts. But we've got a mic and a mission to share, to tell the damn truth, cause somebody's gotta care. We laugh, we cry, we cuss, we pray. We honor the ones who ain't here today. From basic to battle and back to the block. This is our rhythm of round table talk. Welcome to the front lines you don't always see, when warriors to battle just differently. This is our check-in, our voice, our step. This is the HomeFront SitRep podcast. Still heavy in dreams out of reach, for the lessons the textbooks can never teach. We're sounding off, no filter, no prep. This is the HomeFront SitRep podcast. So if you're born with boots or love someone who did, if you swallowed your hurt and kept it all hid, pull up a chair, you're not alone. Welcome to the front lines you don't always see, where courage meets scars and raw honesty. This is our anthem, our truth intercept. This is the HomeFront SitRep podcast. For the ones still standing and those we've lost yet, for every single story we'll never forget. We speak so others won't forget. This is the HomeFront SitRep podcast. Real talk, real facts, real life. HomeFront SitRep podcast, where the mission continues.
Welcome, everybody, to a Monday edition of HomeFront SitRep. How is everybody doing? Gunny, how are you, sir?
Recovering from the weekend, brother. How about you?
Man, a little bit of the same. I worked on Saturday. Had did some overtime, and then yesterday was a pretty easy but eventful day because daughter's getting ready to go to college on Wednesday, so we did a trial run with all of her stuff that she has here. My living room looks like a home goods store, so we loaded everything up, like the mini fridge and all these. Everything that she's got for college. My wife kind of went a little overboard, I think, getting stuff ready, but not too bad, honestly. But now let's talk about your weekend, man. You were at the Warrior weekend. Let's talk about that a little bit. How invigorating was that?
Dude, every year it's something new and different, right? Even though it's Warrior Weekend, the skydive team, we all came together again this year, along with the Blue Skies family, the volunteers, everybody that puts this thing together. So Wednesday was ambassador report day, volunteer report day. So we all went in and just one last little run through of, okay, this is when people are arriving. This is what it's going to look like, dinner, everything. So then Thursday, it was from, 10 o'clock in the morning till about, 10 o'clock at night, people arriving from all over the nation. I mean, even, Colonel Bates came in from Hawaii, him and his wife. And then Friday was aircraft / parachute day, skydive day, if you will, out at the drop zone. We couldn't have asked for better weather. Little to no wind. I mean, we could have had more wind, honestly, but little to no wind and zero issues with clouds, zero issues with weather, zero issues with turning load after load after load to get these guys and girls and the families up to do a skydive. And then Saturday was gun shoot day and Jeep parade. I don't know how many Jeeps I had this year because I had to go over to the stage early to MC and then narrate the jump. And then, the jump happened. Another flawless jump by Team Fast Tracks. We had 4 jumpers on each load, I think. Yeah, 4 jumpers on each load. And then Kevin Kelsey out of Nashville came in and played for us and then sang the national anthem. And then everybody back to the Jeep. And then it was the dinner, if you will. And I think this year we had 18 new, first time combat injured veterans that came in. So Purple Heart and those with post-traumatic stress, traumatic brain injury. And then another, I think 9 or 10 fallen families. So the Gold Stars, the White Stars, the Green Star families. We didn't have any first time, I think fallen first responders this year, I don't think. And then, so they all get introduced. I mean, the volunteers, now they formed this huge, basically tunnel. They call it the Tunnel of Love. But this huge passage from the entrance to the gymnasium to the stage. And we let the first time attendees choose whatever song they want. And I mean, some of them, it was, pretty, low key, like, this, a country dude's going to play a country song type deal.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it was fun, man. It was a lot of fun, a lot of hours. And then every night they have a bonfire, right? They call it the bond fire because that's where most of the bonding happens. And usually it's after a nice chilly adult beverage or 2 or 3 or 4, a bottle or whatever. But yeah, man, a lot of guys that we've had on the show. The Warrior on a Cruise crew was there. So Steve, Jason Little, and Kirk came in, and it was Steve and Kirk's first time. So they may come back in as ambassadors. Troy and Rich both had medical issues. So they decided not to come in this year. So we'll get them in next year, no big deal. And then Kevin and Lauren from Van of Valor came in and did a few interviews, and they're still pushing away. I think they're heading towards St. Louis now or out that way. And then who else did we have on the show? Oh, of course, Matt Miller and David Hart. Matt's on the skydive team, and he does our medical for Warrior Weekend. And David being one of the founders of the team, plus one of the founders of Blue Skies. So yeah, a lot of familiar faces to the HomeFront SitRep family were there, and of course, I've known a lot of them for the past 8-10 years that they've been doing Warrior Weekend since I took part in the very first one in 2014, and it's great to see how far the organization has come and grown. And at one point in time, we had too many guests, and you don't get that intimate feel. You don't get to know people. I mean, you have to interject into people's conversation if you want to get to know them. And they downsized a little bit this year, and it allowed you to get to know the people that came in this year a little bit more. And, they could still cut down a little bit. I mean, it doesn't need to be a 1-for-1 ambassador to, guest, trade. It could be a 2-to-1. And, they're all grown adults, right? And as ambassadors, we're just there to help facilitate the weekend. We're not there to hold their hand.
Right.
If they have a question, if they need anything, they just come find us. or we can just direct them on where they need to be. But yeah, no, great weekend. Early mornings, late evenings, whether it's getting up to head to the drop zone or, staying late at the bonfire, or getting up early to head to the gun range, and, staying late at the bonfire again, and the dinner and the Jeep parade. But it was hot, man. It was
Yeah.
freaking scorcher. Yeah. Saturday, it wasn't supposed to get up where it did. I mean, we were looking at high 80s, and I got to the mid to high 90s.
Yeah.
So we did adjust a little bit. Um, the Jeeps arrived a little bit earlier because they turned one turn too early, or two turns too early, if you will, and which knocked him off time just a little bit. And I just looked at David. I'm like, I got to push this up. People are getting hot. They're overheating. We have to get this moving. So Matt Harvey, who's the director of skydive operations on the team, was there with me by the stage. I'm like, hey, launch the plane. How much time do I have? And I looked at the Kevin. I'm like, play another song. So he played the song, and then we introduced every single person, every single family. We were going to bring them up on stage, but because of the heat, man, I just said, hey, just stay where you're at, stand in place, raise your hand, whatever. And then we had two families from the team. We lost Adam Plummer last year and Adam Ralston this year, and both their widows came in. Adam Ralston's family came in on Friday at the drop zone, came in Saturday for the parade and the dinner and everything too. So it was nice to honor our fallen teammates as well. But yeah, dude, I mean, great weekend. Sorry you missed it. I mean, I know you were forced overtime, but next year, hopefully, you can come up and we can do a couple different podcasts from the drop zone, the gun range, and just all over, just to encompass the entire weekend. But we had the Voice of America Country Music Fest this weekend too, which cut the crowd down a little bit in Miamisburg. But when you have, I saw Matt, I put it up here, 120 plus Jeeps, right? So there's at least one person per Jeep as drivers, and then some of the community did come out, but again, it was friggin' hot, man. But yeah, I get a week-ish off, I guess. No jumps for me, no events for me in the next couple weeks. This weekend I've got I guess farewell dinner for Troy, and then on Thursday or Friday of next week, I take off to Texas to go do some fishing. So I don't know, somewhere around San Antonio, do some bow fishing, and then come back and we roll right into the mix with college football, man. A couple weeks away, it's starting up, and I think I kick off the year at Iowa State.
Nice. Yeah, no, we didn't have an episode last night because I was spending time with the wife and kids, and all of our adopted kids, and then we had they were doing their senior jeans. Basically, that's what they were, painting senior on it. Yeah, this whole weekend was too hot, Sean. I would agree with you. So they were doing that, and I think they got to finish them up tonight, and then they're going to go. They're actually upstairs decorating cars. Getting them ready for first day of school tomorrow. So
they paint their parking lot yet? Their parking spot? You
so
guys do that?
They won't allow them because it's the new parking area. It's brand new, so they're not allowing them to do that. The old parking area that's tore up now because they're adding a new science building there. So they used to let them do those, but the new parking lot, they won't let them do that. So they get to decorate the cars. So
man, they could have done chalk.
It
washes off, right?
Yeah, and we got a new principal too, and it's just they've changed some things around. And what's up, James Thornton? How are you, Pumpkin? And so they changed some things around, but I got 3 or 4 kids up. Oh, why did it zoom in on me? I don't need to see my ugly mug that much. Ooh.
Yeah, because you were doing this stuff, man.
Well, I had to zoom it out.
No, before. You
maybe.
Can't put that hand up there if you do this.
I know.
It's gonna
it's gonna suck in on my face, and you're gonna get to see my ugliness. But yes, we got new principal, and school starts tomorrow for the high school kids, and it just it's not hit me yet that Grace is going to be gone. I'm so used to her being here, but today I picked her up from work, And she goes, Dad, I said, can you take the trash down? She goes, well, Lo's going to have to do that. And she's going to have to take the dogs out tomorrow. And I'm like, why? She goes, because Dad, I'm getting ready to leave. I was like, oh shit. So, it hit me,
Yeah.
but I still want her to go be great. I know she's going to do great things. So, it's going to suck that she's not here. But then again, it's going to be like, I want her to be great. I want her to flourish and thrive in a new environment. So I'm excited about that. So we'll see
for
how that
sure.
plays out. And then just trying to figure out uh, what we got, like coming up. Got to answer some emails and get September scheduled. It's unlike me not to be booked 2 to 3 months out.
Yeah.
And I haven't even started September. Now, granted, I got a lot of people in the queue. I just got to make sure I do my proper vetting and get the right ones to help our brothers and sisters out there, because I want to make sure we're putting good information out there. Now, I did see something, and I don't know uh, all the details yet, but a former guest that we've had on the show has come under some scrutiny, um, and I need to check more into it, and I'll have to tell you who offline, because I don't want to spread rumors out there. But
Yeah.
the person that is calling them out she's at she's real heavily involved in the Marine Corps League. She's like in DC level Marine Corps League. She's also up there with the VFWs and stuff. So I know she kind of knows what she's talking about. And it's a couple nonprofits. And then it's also a couple individuals that she's calling out for, she's looking at their 990s and everything's not adding up correctly. And I'm like, man, we had this person on the show, and we've talked to them a few times, or I've talked to them a few times outside of the show. So yeah, I want to see how all that plays out, because it's like, what do I need to do differently to make sure in the future, which, like I said, I don't know all the details, that I'm getting the right people. And then James says, heading to Richmond, Indiana next month with the Global War.
So, yeah, that's awesome. You're going up there with the wall. They just opened the Richmond Uranus Fudge Factory, like within the past couple weeks.
Nice.
Yeah, so there's one out in Uranus, Missouri, I think is where it's at. But I had a few people at Warrior Weekend said that they had come through the one in Richmond and they opened it up. So my boys have never been. April went when she went out to Albuquerque with me, but we're going to be taking a trip out to Richmond so the boys can experience it. They
Nice.
both have shirts from out there. But yeah, some of the innuendos and things that
yes.
Yeah.
So
Richmond PD's bunch of great group of guys and girls. We did their national night out a couple years ago, and dude, they treated us so good. And they have a fallen police officer out there. Matter of fact, I think I have a coin. Her mom presented her coin to me last year. But yeah, just a great group of people out there, man, in Richmond. And I spent a lot of time there. Remember Curtis Collins?
Yeah.
So he was from Liberty, but his mom lived in the Richmond area, and he's back out that way. So I spent a lot of time in Richmond.
Nice.
Early Marine Corps days, leaving on a regular, weekend Friday, rolling back to Liberty or Richmond, and then rolling back in first thing Monday morning before PT.
Oh yeah, I hate it. I mean, I love those days when you get back at zero dark 30 and you got a PT the next morning. It's just like, oh god, yeah. Those were fun. Those 13-hour drives from Barshawn, Kentucky, back to Camp Lejeune. I remember one night I stopped and got like a 6-pack of the IBC cream sodas, and back then they were in clear bottles.
Yeah,
right.
Well, they were in the it was either the clear or the brown bottle. It depended. Yeah, the root beer was in the brown, right?
Yeah. The root beer was in the brown. The cream soda was in the clear. Well, I had one in between my legs, and I was going through the main gate, and he shined a flashlight. He goes, "Are you serious?" And I was like, "What?" He goes, "Are you drinking coming back on base?" I was like, "No, man. This is." And it was fun. It was funny, but oh man, it was a blast. I love, man. I'd do it all over again if I could. But
Yeah, I got a friend of mine from the Illinois, St. Louis area, and he brings me ski. And it's a
yeah, I know it is.
yeah, a lot of people don't, but
Right,
it's a
right.
lemon orange drink, kind of like Sprite or Starry or Sierra Mist, whatever you want to refer it to. Instead of lemon lime, it's lemon orange, and it's in a green bottle, so it kind of looks like a Heineken a little bit. And
Yeah,
I can't tell you how many times I'm driving down the highway and I pick that up, and the cops just kind of look at me and they double look. And I'm like, what the hell are they looking at?
that's when you turn
And
the label.
I've not been pulled over yet. So I mean, hopefully I don't. But even
Yeah,
if
let's
I do,
knock on
there's
some
no,
wood.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it anyway, right? It's not an alcoholic beverage, and I can't have that anyway. And it's been over 6 years since I've had a drink.
Yeah.
So I mean, even this weekend, I will tell you what. Hold on a minute. Hopefully my mic doesn't fall.
It shouldn't. It's a new mic.
So, of course, Warrior Weekend happened this weekend. And man, one of our teammates is like, hey, I'm not going to drink. I'm just going to open it. But he's like, is there any way you can open it without tearing the wax like completely off? I was like, yeah. So I did it for him. And we were pouring, I was pouring 1 ounce to half ounce, just shots, just so people can taste it. And we did it. They did it straight up. They did it on the rocks with a little bit, sometimes a little bit, just to bring up some of those different flavors and stuff.
Right.
Well, then a guy I served with on recruit duty brought in some little glasses.
Oh man.
Game changer, because we were using plastic cups. Game
Yeah.
changer. Game changer. I bet that bottle was gone 45 minutes, maybe,
Oh
on
dang.
a 1 ounce and a half ounce shot. That was it. But unanimous across the board, it is very good, and most everybody preferred it neat or straight up, whatever language you want to use,
Right. Right.
at room temperature. But yeah,
Okay.
um,
So,
yeah. And then bottle number 1, I put in a wine packing thing and blew it up, and then we have bags for some of our smaller flags or banners that attach to their hip and their leg.
right.
And I put it down in that and made sure it fit nice and tight. And we did a dedication jump to our fallen teammates at the drop zone at the hour break. So
Oh man.
noon-ish, right after noon. And we had up a 5,000 square foot American flag, the 1,100 square foot Purple Heart, Thin Blue Line, Honor Remember, the Armed Forces medley, and Yulia jumped the Armed Forces medley with the bottle. So then, she landed with it, and we took it inside, and all the team members signed it. And then bottle number 1 went to the dinner in the auction. We raised $900 on
Hell
that
yeah.
bottle. Well, you say hell yeah. One of my teammates bought it, so which is cool, and he came through Warrior Weekend and is just all in with Warrior Weekend. And Case. So Case's mom's boyfriend Eric is the one that bought it, and
Okay.
so Case and his mom came in, and so yeah, like I said, a lot of people that we've had on the show
Yeah.
we're at Warrior Weekend. So yeah, I'm looking for it, and they'll more than likely they'll be back next year.
Next year, yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to us going up there and seeing where these organizations and the people that we've interviewed are. Now
Yeah.
it'll be 2 years removed from when we had them on the show.
Yeah, because I'd love to when we go up there next year to have Case back on, talk about what he's done, because now he's a full on 501c3, where when he was on the show he wasn't.
Yeah, they were still working on it.
And then we can talk, with the Warrior Honor Cruise guys, talk about those guys. talk with David Hart, and see how things have changed over the course of 2 years.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be phenomenal.
I tell you,
Phenomenal.
not much has changed within Blue Skies as far as organizational wise, and their mission. I mean, they're still doing what their mission statement says they're doing, right? And
Yeah.
the money is still going where it says it's going. But yeah, it's nice to be back in the swing of things with Blue Skies. I'm not going to be at every fundraiser. I'm not going to be at every single event they have, but to come in and help facilitate Warrior Weekend if they need me. They know my commitments to the team first,
Right.
and then it's Warrior Weekend. So next year, hopefully, they have enough ambassadors, or an ambassador doesn't back out, and I can be there for team stuff, or if the team needs me elsewhere, I can go elsewhere.
Right.
But yeah, man, it's a great, we say weekend, but it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and out the door on Sunday. It's that,
96.
yeah, that those 4 days that the guys and girls and the families are in here, and you can see them. You watch them come in all timid, shy, a little bit, unless they know somebody that's there already. But then they just gravitate to that person, or to the people that they know.
Right.
But probably day 2, especially skydive day, after the skydive, when that adrenaline's going and they're on that high, right? That high that you're not going to get from any alcohol or drug or prescription medication. Just that high of being at 13,500 feet and free falling to about 6,000 feet, parachute opening, and it's like you're sitting there, and it's like your dog sticking his head out the window, right, going down the highway, and his just face is flopping all over the place.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden that canopy opens and you slow down, right? You go from 120 to about 50, 60 miles an hour.
Right.
And all of a sudden it's almost so quiet, and you're just up there, and it was a little hazy, but you can see into Indiana. You can see the skyline of Cincinnati. You can see the skyline of Dayton on a good day. And, there's no sound until you turn, right, to burn off that altitude. And then you pick it up, and it's just like being on a roller coaster, right? And then you plane back out, and then you turn back the other way. And, we had a couple of guys from Warrior on a cruise, and my teammate Dimitri, he's a smaller guy. We call him fun size. So he's a smaller guy. So he's up to taking the big guys, as long as it doesn't exceed the max weight of what the canopy's supposed to have. And I said, just bury it right in your pocket. And he did with one of them. And the guy's like, oh, nope, we're not doing that. Nope, we're done. We're done. We're not doing that.
That's awesome.
So it's good to have fun with, especially the guys that I know, that I've known for a while, or just, known for a couple of years, and, get to bring them in. And I've seen the struggles that these guys have gone through. I've been where these guys have gone through, and to bring them in and watch everything change. Steve Kingsley was there, and I think he said it was 40 something years since he skydived, and absolutely friggin' loved it. He wants to come back in as an ambassador next year. Yeah. Everybody that experiences the weekend wants to come back in some way, shape, or form. Jason was back as an ambassador this year, and I'm like, come back in as a volunteer. If Kirk and Steve come in as ambassadors, come back in as a volunteer. But, dude, it was awesome. And I want you to be able to come in and experience it and just see what goes on. And there'll be a video out, probably within the next week or so of photos and stuff, and there's a couple drone people there, but yeah, it's an unbelievable weekend. I mean, there is a video out there on YouTube about Blue Skies and Team Fast Tracks where we can remember, but it's focused around mainly 3 core groups of people that have ties with each other, and of course Blue Skies.
Right. Well, it's Monday. My daughter's getting ready to leave, and my wife is like, "Hey, do you have a podcast tonight? And I was like, I do. I said, but lucky for me, you know, our guest kind of backed out at last minute kind of sort of thing. She said, well, can you go short tonight? That because we got, like I said earlier, we got people out decorating cars and stuff like that, getting ready for school. So got to go up there here in a minute and cook dinner for everybody. I'm doing a Key West chicken with lemon butter or garlic lemon butter sauce on the bow tie pastas and stuff. So it's a chicken breast that's been marinated in Italian dressing, right? And it's been marinating for like 12 hours. And then I throw that on the grill. And then once it's cooked, I cut it into like a starfish and put it on top of the pasta. And then it's supposed to have black olives and pimentas in it, but I don't eat none of that. Neither do my kids, so we don't throw that in there. Occasionally, I'll do like a Jamaican jerk sauce sometimes to give it that flavor.
Yeah.
So next week on the 17th, we have John Flatt. Do you have his book handy? Mine's back there, or I would grab it. I didn't know if you had yours handy.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, it's right here. Hold on.
So we got Mr. John Flatt coming on. He wrote the book Smoke 'Em If You Got 'Em. He's an Army veteran. He currently resides in Ireland. He's going to be coming on the show and talking about his journey after getting out of the military, the war that he brought home, and how he has, you know, done the things that he's done. Then Monday, I will not be here. We don't have a show that night. Gunny might want to put something together. Maybe, I don't know. It's the Marine Corps League's meeting, so I have to go to this one. It's the third Monday of every month, but this would be the first one I'm able to attend, except for the one back in January. And then on the 24th, we got Tony with Not Service Connected.
Yeah, it sucks. I'm going to miss that one. I so want to be here for that. So I wore the black, you know, me being, you know, the person being blown up, not service connected. So I can't tell you how many people saw the back of that shirt this past week and then came running up to me and be like, I got to see the front. And they're like, I don't get it. I was like, it's a person being blown up and basically the VA telling the pound Sam it's not service connected. I was like, matter of fact, I got blown up twice and they told me the same thing. And then they're like, oh, I get it now. I'm like, really? It shouldn't have taken that much explanation on the shirt. But I'm pissed because I can't find my green one.
You can't find the green one.
I have tore this friggin' house apart and I cannot find it. So I'm going to have to go and order a new one. How can we do that, Willis?
So I got the link. Let's see. Let me go here. I wish I'd known you were going to say, hey, we need this. Tony Riggs is his name. So the website. I know,
you just brought it up. I didn't know you were going to talk about it either.
Well, yeah. So the website is www. I'm typing it in the chat right now. ncshirts.com. So I'm throwing it in the chat right now. So www.ncshirts.com, not service connected. Or actually it's NSC.
Man, see, you better delete that one.
www.ncshirts.com. There we go. Let's see if I can delete those other ones.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now.
All right. Hey, what's up, William Stevens? How are you, sir? So yeah, it's in www.nscshirts.com. He's got shirts for a little bit of everything. He's got like Camp Lejeune water. He's got filling sandbags. He's
kicking rocks. All kinds
yeah.
of stuff.
So
he's got a parachute one.
Yeah, he's got all kinds of crazy ones.
Yeah.
And then On Monday, the 25th, we got Sean Murphy, MrMotivation.com. That's going to be a really good one as well. And then we'll see how the rest of the month. And then we got the Tip the Spear on the 27th.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fun. And then
Yeah. Speaking of Sean's, I see you've got your Vet SOS shirt on there.
I do.
Yeah. So mine did arrive today.
It did or didn't?
It did. Matter of fact, the coin is right there.
I see it. Yes.
I did text Sean and let him know that I received it, and he'd just gotten back from the VFW conference, so it'd be interesting to see how that went and some of the topics that were discussed out there.
Yeah, definitely. Sean, when I messaged him earlier, told him that I got my package. He responded right away, and he's like, "Hey, man, I'm so glad." And the material of this shirt, oh man, it's phenomenal.
So yeah, so that's what every year we do the Mogadishu Mile shirts, and I specifically ask for that.
Yeah,
because one they don't shrink as much and they last longer, but they're more expensive. But yeah, so yeah, I love the texture of that shirt, the material that it's made out of, and I got the patch sitting here behind me too, in a coin slot.
see it.
So, yeah. So I mean, once matter of fact, I'm just gonna leave that there until I fill that slot with the coin that's supposed to be there.
And it's hard to find that coin that you're looking for,
dude. It's gonna have to be somebody from the command, right? I don't think that anybody makes it other than like the command outsourcing it, right? So for most of the base ones, there's some over there. For some of the base ones, it's coins for anything, or G-Man or whoever is mass producing coins for the bases and stations and stuff like that. But for that specific coin, I've not seen one. Now, a sticker, a patch all day, but not a coin. So,
well, I even Googled it and tried to find it, and it was like, nope, nowhere. And I was like, man. So maybe we'll have to take a trip down there.
Yeah, man, I was down there in January, and so much has changed out at Stone Bay. You wouldn't recognize it at all. I mean, it's that Marsoc has a massive compound out there that you can't even get into unless you have your little black card, right?
Right.
But I mean, it's just like the 160th. You have to have a special ID to get into the 160th down there too. But yeah, they didn't even have any in the shop because Micah was going to buy one for me. But yeah, man, I don't know. Eventually, maybe one day.
We'll get it somehow, some way.
Not until Vet SOS patch will be sitting there.
And if you haven't checked out Vet SOS, you need to go to Vet. I think it's vetsos.com and check out the podcast. I mean, they have multiple shows. They have shows for transitioning. They have authors like William Stevens would be a good guest. They do a show for authors. They have all kinds of great information on the Vet SOS.
They have like four different hosts now, something like that.
I think it's more than that actually, because they do almost every night. They do a some kind of show. Of course, they do a lot of recorded episodes and stuff. But yeah, so go check out Vet SOS podcast. Wherever you get your podcast at, go check them out. Sean and Keith are amazing. We need to get you scheduled to go on their show as well to talk about your story and stuff. Get you on there. So, but I do have to run, my friend.
Hey, we get it, man. It's I say it all the time, and it took me until 2020 to realize it. Right. So I joined the team in 2014. It took me 6 full years to realize, and only because of COVID, because I didn't realize what I was missing at home. I was too busy being on the road, traveling, doing all the cool stuff. Right. Well, the cool stuff's only cool if you get to sit there and enjoy it.
Right.
You have to get there. For me, right, I'm there an hour and a half to 2 hours prior to the jump. The jump's only 4 damn minutes. They
Yeah.
get on the ground, we pack up, we boogie home. So we really don't even get to enjoy it sometimes. And I was just lost in the lights and being at the events and everything else. I'm like, you know what? COVID hits, and it's like, man, I didn't realize I missed my boys growing up. I
Yeah.
missed so many sporting events and birthdays and anniversaries and this and that. I take the time now.
Yeah. You got to.
Family before everything. I take that time because Micah's 19. Matter of fact, they both came up to Warrior Weekend to deliver me some stuff and to grab some stuff for me. And everybody's like, "Is that the boys?" I'm like, "Yeah." And some people haven't seen them since probably 2015, 2016. And they're
Oh
like,
man.
"They're taller than you." I'm like, "They are not. They are close, but they are not." And Miles is taller than Micah. The youngest is taller than the oldest. And he's probably maybe a quarter inch shorter than me, if that.
Dang.
So he's getting real close.
And he's still growing.
And and he's only 14.
Yeah.
Micah's only 19, so he's still going to grow. But I bet Miles shot up 4 inches this summer, easily. From the time that we were home in April to now, I bet 4 inches easily.
Phew.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That is crazy. All right, Gunny, let's end it up. Let's end this show. All right. This is you, brother.
Yeah, you're not alone. You still have worth. You still have value. Don't let the dark days win. Surround yourself with people that are going to bring you up and not tear you down. And I can't believe how much of that I saw this weekend of just people coming around, all these guests that came in for Warrior Weekend and just building them up and loving on them and let them know we've been there too. Welcome to the family. You're loved.
Oh yeah.
You don't. We've had so many guests the past few weeks and even myself. You don't have to be a product of where you grew up.
Hell yeah. And I'm just going to throw this in there. In the silence of your struggles, remember, though unseen, you are deeply held in the hearts of others. You are not alone. And that's a real good representative because, like, I got friends from high school that are my really, really close friends. And I don't talk to them every day. I don't talk to them. It might be a couple months before I talk to them. But they still know I care. They still know if they call me, I'm going to show up. And that's the thing. You might not think that somebody's out there wanting you to show up, but I guarantee you one of these days they're going to want you to show up. So you need to be there for them. So you're not alone. And then this right here, man, hashtag be someone stranger. Listen, we as humans, we're more apt to talk to a complete stranger than the ones we love the most. So if you're out and about and you see somebody that looks like they're having a bad day, go up to them, say, "Hey, how you doing?" And if they give you the red flags, "I'm okay, I'm hanging in there, I'm living a dream," ask the next hard question. How are you really doing? But be ready for that conversation. Could be a 5-minute conversation, could be an 8-hour conversation. You just have to be ready for it.
Yeah, man, it takes a village. Use your people. And, we've talked about it the past few weeks here on the HomeFront SitRep. Dan and Babs talking about that cell phone roulette and just scrolling through and hitting a name and making that call just to check and see how somebody's doing.
Yeah.
And if you're the one that's struggling, reach out to somebody that will answer the phone. And just tell them, "Hey, I just need an ear. I just need to talk. I need to get something off my chest." Matter of fact, it happened to me on Wednesday. A really good friend of mine calls me. He goes, "Hey, I'm thinking about doing this or this. What should I do?" And I'm like, "Listen, if it's really, if it's taking too much out of you, if it's a heavy burden right now, and you need to be around some people that are just going to get you out of that headspace, come on up. Would love to have you. You're going to be here tomorrow anyway. Might as well come up tonight." And he's like, "You know what? Screw it. Don't tell anybody, but I'll see you in a little bit." And he came up to Chautauqua and, he sent me a text either Saturday night or Sunday morning. He goes, "Dude, thanks for listening. Thanks for being there for me." And I know that if I needed something, he would be there for me in a friggin' heartbeat. And he has, and he's been there for my family. So, I mean, that's what it's all about. Just if you know that you're just in a funk, reach out.
Yep. Big shout out to our partners, Heroes Media Group. Adam Bird's amazing. You got Reach Across America Radio with Jeff, another amazing guy. You got Military United podcast streams. You got Elite Engraving. We got Valor Coins and Pins with Brent Casey, who is amazing. And then Same Flag, Same Oath. Got Your Six Culture. Man, I can't say enough about our partners out there. Each one of them does their own thing, but they're amazing at what they do. So go check them out. And then go check out HomeFrontSitRep.com. No, that's not the one I want. Where did it go? Oh, yeah, maybe it is. I wanted it to just pop up on the screen, but yeah, HomeFrontSitRep.com. We have all of the nonprofits, all the veteran business owners, veteran singers, comedians, everybody that we've had on the show. I do need to update it to get it more current. But once everything settles down, I'll be able to update it a little bit. So go check out that. And then if you're into art and it's your art therapy, whether it's playing guitar, whether it's playing, doing leather working, whatever you like doing, and it's considered art, check out cavarts.org. That's cavarts.org. It's by Challenge America, which is challengeamerica.com. If you're a veteran, go check them out, man. Join the community. It's amazing. It's strictly for veterans. So definitely go check it out. But it is that time of night. I do got to get running. Gunny,
What you talking about, Willis?
what you talking about, Willis? Like we always say on Homefront SitRep, stay safe out there. We got your
Get your
six.
six.
Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this show.
Suggestions and comments are always welcome.
Cannot wait to have another great show with y'all.
Don't forget you can find HomeFront SitRep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Stay safe out there. I got your six.